He stood at the door with a resume in one hand, and a trash bag of his belongings in the other. All he wanted was a chance to clean the floors. But they couldn't look past his clothes, or his skin. What happened next will change the way you judge people forever. Would you hire someone who looks homeless? Subscribe now to Skin Deep Stories, where every story digs deeper than appearances. Let's begin. Marcus Bell, 41, sat outside Hillside Financial, his jacket damp from last night's rain. He hadn't had a real home in over a year, ever since the car crash that took both his wife and his job in one cruel moment. Today, he was applying to be the night janitor. He had cleaned professionally before. He still had his resume. But when the receptionist looked up and saw him, she hesitated. "Are you here for the donation center?" Marcus held up his resume. She nodded, clearly uncomfortable, and walked away to check. Mr. Carlton Meyer, the floor manager, stepped into the lobby. He didn't smile. "Marcus, is it? You're not quite the professional image we're looking for." Marcus frowned. "But it's janitorial work. I've done it before." "You can even call my references," Carlton cut him off. "We're trying to maintain a certain standard here. First impressions matter." He glanced at the trash bag beside Marcus. "Maybe check with shelters downtown. They sometimes have programs." He turned and walked away. Marcus stood there for a moment, humiliated. As Marcus walked out into the rain, a voice stopped him. "Hey, sir. Wait, here, take this." A young woman with braids and a bright smile handed him a paper bag and a hot coffee. "I saw what happened. I work in accounting here. What they did, that wasn't okay." Her name was Tiffany Grant, a junior staffer. Inside the bag was a sandwich, some cookies, and a card, "You're worth more than how they treated you." That night, Marcus sat in the subway tunnel and cried, not because he was hungry, but because someone had seen him. 2 weeks passed. Marcus continued sleeping rough, but started picking up litter in the park. He found comfort in routine, keeping things clean, organized. One morning, while scrubbing graffiti from a bench with a towel, he heard screaming. A woman was running. Her toddler had wandered into the street, just as a van sped around the corner. Without thinking, Marcus darted into traffic. He swept the child into his arms just as the van screeched and swerved. He hit the pavement hard, but the child was safe. People surrounded him. Someone filmed it. And someone else called 911. Marcus woke up in a hospital bed. His leg was fractured, but he'd be okay. Tiffany showed up with flowers and tears in her eyes. "You saved a child, Marcus. Do you know that?" The next day, the video went viral. Local news picked it up. So did national TV. Homeless hero saves toddler. Rejected for janitor job, praised for bravery. When asked why he did it, Marcus simply said, "Someone had to." 2 days after being discharged, Marcus received an invitation. "Marcus Bell, you are formally invited to the Hillside Financial Building on Friday at noon." He almost threw it out. But Tiffany called. "Trust me. Just come." When he arrived, in borrowed clean clothes, he was met by Carlton, the manager who rejected him. "Marcus, we owe you an apology." He stepped aside. Behind him stood the CEO, the entire staff, and a podium. The CEO handed Marcus a framed letter. Effective immediately, Marcus Bell is appointed as Hillside's Director of Community Cleanliness and Safety. It wasn't just a janitor job. It was leadership. 6 months later, Marcus gave a TED-style talk at a citywide youth conference on dignity and work. He shared his story of loss, of sleeping outside, of picking up trash for no pay. When the event ended, he was approached by an older man in a wheelchair. "Marcus. I think we've met before. You applied for a job at my bank. I turned you away." Marcus paused. Then smiled. "I remember. I also remember walking out stronger." The man looked embarrassed. I was wrong. Marcus shook his hand. A lot of people were. But this time, I built my own role. What no one knew. Marcus had started his own cleaning services company using donations from the viral campaign. He was now employing 12 formerly homeless men and women. He didn't just get a job. He became the one giving them. They said he didn't look the part. They said he wasn't a good fit. But Marcus proved something deeper. Dignity can't be judged by shoes. And leadership doesn't always come in a suit. Would you have hired Marcus that day? Tell us in the comments. And subscribe to Skin Deep Stories, where every story reminds us that humanity isn't skin deep.